And today we have the worst anime hot takes of all time, part 5.
Whose chain is the hardest to snatch? Yugi's, Sinbad, or Broly?
I don't even know. But just off of my anime experience, I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I've watched Dragon Ball. Sinbad, I don't know who the fuck you are. But just a wild guess. I don't think there's anyone that is snatching Broly's chain. I'm just being honest. Homie legit is. I mean, is it far-fetched to say he's the strongest Super Saiyan? I said strongest Super Saiyan. He's the strongest Saiyan. Like, nigga, they needed Goku and Vegeta fusion to put up a fight against this nigga. So technically, they had to jump the nigga in order to beat the nigga. So they can't run the ones with him. Proof is in the pudding. You ain't snatching. You're not snatching Broly's chain.
Put Broly as the easiest, huh? I'll put Broly as the easiest, huh?
He's going for clips. Bro, this is so hard, man.
With summer wrapping up, we are now well into 2025, and the internet is still the internet. And as you can see with the title, it's that time of the year again where I need to talk about some of the terrible anime takes I found while scouring the internet. So in today's video, we're gonna be looking at some of the most absurd, brain-numbing takes that have touched the web. And like always, no hate to any of these people.
And I hope a take that I share doesn't come up in this video.
We're just talking about anime.
Whose chain is the hardest to snatch? Yugi's, Sinbad, or Broly?
I'll put Broly as the easiest, huh?
Wow, I don't even have words for this. Between the three options, you pick Broly?
As the easiest.
At a first glance of all these characters, I'd expect either Yugi or Sinbad to get disrespected before Broly. Sinbad not getting disrespected is the most shocking to me because I don't think he's more popular than the other two in the video. So I assumed
On me. Never heard of him. The only Sinbad I know is that one black guy. Does he have a mohawk? I don't know. I think that's his name, Sinbad. But yeah, that's the only Sinbad I know. Never heard of this dude.
that people were unaware of how powerful he was. But I guess people know ball. To an extent, of course. Come on. To clarify something, we're talking about Z Broly here, not Dragon Ball Super Broly, who had a good side to him. The argument the guy in the video makes is that since Broly was kinda chill with the Z fighters when they pulled up, one might be able to get away with doing something to him. But I feel like this is just flawed in all types of ways. Z Broly was tweaked out to the extreme. For a majority of his life, he was blowing up galaxies like it was nothing. They showed flashbacks of him as a kid causing destruction just for the love of the game. I don't even want to mention what he did to the Z fighters. I think we all know that story already. Even when Paragus was controlling him, Broly could still just lose control and start acting violently. A counter argument to that would be the fact that Broly was only losing control when he was around Goku. But even if he's still controlled by Paragus, Broly is still a Saiyan. He's a warrior. He's not gonna let you just do something to him and get away.
On baby. On baby. Like, I feel like that argument that homie just spilled, the only truth in that is like, if we're talking about snatching the chain, but that's it. Like, you know, just reaching out, yanking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then again, why would Broly be the easiest? Because then again, in that context, if we're just simply talking about reaching out and snatching that nigga chain, right? I mean, all of them is free each. So we can't be talking about that. We're talking about snatching the chain and dealing with the repercussions. Yeah, homie was smoking crack.
With it. It also doesn't help when you mention the fact that Broly is like 7'10" in his base form. I'd really love to see someone try to take something from someone built like this. Also, thinking about it now, Broly did destroy all those galaxies without needing Goku around. So honestly, saying a take like this already requires a lot of brain cells not caring about self-preservation. However, the take becomes even worse when you look at the other options. Sinbad may be stronger than Broly, but he's at least a bit more approachable than an unstable Saiyan. Granted, you're probably not taking his hypothetical chain either, but at least there's a better.
Damn, I didn't know that. My bad. I guess homie ain't nothing to mess with. Okay.
chance. But the best part about all of this is that we don't even have to worry about Sinbad for real, because the most obvious choice between the three characters is Yugi. It doesn't really matter if it's regular Yugi or Yami Yugi. I'm taking my chances with them. Yami Yugi is the closest thing to a normal human being you're gonna get between these three characters. He's only like 5 feet tall with an average build. He's nothing too menacing. We've seen this man get blitzed and punched by regular people before. And I'm 99% sure that this isn't Yami from season 0, because if it was, we'd be having a slightly different conversation. As long as I'm not dueling him in a shadow game, I have a way better chance with him than the literal gods amongst men. Next take.
I'm sorry, but Bleach is not in the big three because Shonen Jump just announced that One Piece, DBZ, and Naruto are their best-selling manga series, so why is Bleach in the conversation?
Do you guys want to know a fun fact?
Damn. No, me personally, I haven't seen One Piece. I've seen Bleach, Naruto, and DBZ. But I've seen Bleach, like, not often. You know, I only know about, like, some major fights. I think the only major fight I do remember is when Ichigo, he was fighting that one dude with the wings and, like, the crying makeup and, like, the green eyes. That's the only fight that I've seen. I don't know if I've seen it on YouTube or if I legit just stumbled upon the episode. But I say that to say, even though some of these animes I just barely dip my feet into, I feel like I would put Bleach above One Piece. Now that might be a hot take, I'm not gonna lie.
Did you guys know that the event pole vaulting was invented by Greek prisoners who used poles to escape over prison walls? And since their idea was so clever, the Greeks decided to let the prisoners roam free, and the event started to become a mainstay in track and field. Now, do I have any idea what I'm talking about? Nope. Kind of like how this guy has...
I was like, what the I mean, it sounded good, but you just let prisoners go free because they invented a cool sport? Hell no.
No idea what he's saying. Like, I get that this is his own interpretation of what the big three is, but come on, we get what he's trying to say here. This part doesn't even have to be that long. Anyone who wants to put Dragon Ball in the big three is just not aware of what the term represents.
Damn, so I was wrong. I would have swapped out One Piece for Bleach, but he's swapping out DBZ. I mean, again, the only shows that I really watched that I would really was tapped into was Naruto and DBZ. So I'm like, you know, I mean, shit, it don't make me no different. You know, big three this, big three that. I'm still gonna watch the anime. I'm still not finna watch One Piece. You know, it's preference.
The big three isn't just the 3 shonen franchises with the most sales ever. The big three represents the most popular anime from Shonen Jump in the early 2000s. During this period, these 3 anime were the forefronts of shonen media. They had the best sales and some of the highest cultural impact in the West. And to those with a keen eye, you may say Dragon Ball shares the exact same traits, still wondering why it can't be in the big three. The glaring issue with Dragon Ball and its quote-unquote big three status is the fact that Dragon Ball started coming out in the 80s and the 90s. If you want me to spell it out for you, that means Dragon Ball became prominent way before the entire big three were even conceptualized. Dragon Ball is more like a father to the big three, with each of the creators taking some sort of influence and inspiration from it. I don't know why people want to always discount Bleach and its impact on shonen. A lot of the new gen we see were inspired by Bleach. I've already talked about this before, so I'm not gonna repeat myself.
JJK, oh my gosh, bro, and it's Thanksgiving. So legit, come tomorrow, it will be exactly a week away. And the JJK movie will be here. Yes, it's just rerun of the last part of season 2, but the first couple episodes of season 3. So I'm gonna be there on baby.
Too much. Just look at some of the new gen anime, which honestly aren't so new anymore, and think about how a lot of these concepts just look at some of the new gen anime, which honestly
Black Clover? Damn. I didn't even know. I haven't watched Black Clover. Maybe I should get into it. Honestly,
aren't so new anymore. And think about how a lot of these concepts were popularized with Bleach. Next tape. And oh, what do we have here? A list ranking the top 5 smartest anime characters? That sounds neat. And Bulma's on the cover, so surely she's on the list. She's on the list, right?
She ain't on the list.
Dear goodness, we're starting off with Dr. Vegapunk.
And again, I'm gonna have no say in this because I don't keep up with the smartest. I keep up with the strongest in the verses.
At 5. The smartest man in One Piece is at 5. The man who created the Pacifista, expanded understanding of devil fruits, and lives on an island centuries ahead of the rest of the world is at 5. The man whose brain was too big to be contained in his own head is the 5th smartest anime character. Wow. You know what? Let me not lambast this list just yet. There are a lot of anime out there, so there could very well be plenty of characters smarter than Vegapunk. Granted, I highly doubt you can name 4 smarter, but it's certainly not impossible. It's not like they're gonna put some high school students on the list who aren't even that smart. We need to stop overrating these types of characters. These manipulators aren't really that smart. They're just good liars, especially.
Yeah. I like that. Just because you can manipulate and you know, as you said, lie to people and get away with it, doesn't make you, you know, top 5 smartest people of all time. It just makes you a manipulator. Like, when we're talking about brain smarts, like, I feel like this list needed to be more specific. Cause you got a nigga that, bro, he created a whole island. Comparing that nigga to some dude that just got away with murder.
You serious?
Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer. We got like 50 serial killers that been did that shit. It can't be that outside of human nature to be that smart to evade murder. Yeah, this list is janky.
This bomb. I did have a video talking about how overrated this guy's intelligence is, but it unfortunately got taken down. To sum it up, a lot of the intelligence Light showed was just him playing a game where only he knew the rules. Moreover, he had like 3 other forces helping him out along the way. And why would you put Light here instead of L? He was the one actually making crazy moves with limited knowledge of what he was up against. He should definitely be the Death Note representative of this list. It's a similar story with Ayano Koji. He may be a genius when it comes to strategy and manipulation, but he's definitely not smarter than Dr. Vegapunk. I don't know why people think these high school students who are good liars are automatically some of the smartest anime characters ever. Half of the things this archetype of character does is something a lot of teenagers would do as well if they thought hard enough about it. Also, wouldn't Aizen be a better option than both of these characters? He was manipulating an entire society for years. Number 2 on the list is Shikamaru, which is quite concerning. This means that either Bulma or Senku aren't on this list, both of which are definitely supposed to be here. Shikamaru is smart and has the best battle IQ here, but I don't think that puts him above a character like Dr. Vegapunk, Bulma,
Again, and I don't know much about Bulma smarts, not gonna lie. I don't know much about Dr. Stone. I seen some trailers. I remember back when I was watching like JJK on Crunchyroll. You know, I see the Dr. Stone trailers. Homie would hold up the little bottle at the end. Never really got into it. But again, battle IQ, you know, it's a different level, a different category, I should say, when we're talking about smartest of all time. Again, Shikamaru, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Right hand man. To the damn. What is Naruto? The 7th or 8th Hokage? Let me do a little. I'm giving y'all the ick. What Hokage is Naruto? 7th Hokage. Alright, cool. Yeah, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? He's smart. Shikamaru is smart. You know what I'm saying? But again, you're comparing him to a nigga that legit invents
or Senku. And number 1 on the list is Senku, which is fairly reasonable. It's kind of a layup at this point. But that doesn't change the fact that this list is garbage. Bulma not being on the list while also having freaking Mickey Mouse high school geniuses above her invalidates the entire thing. Bulma invented functioning time travel, built a spaceship, and created the Dragon Ball radar. The way her intelligence gets downplayed sometimes is insane. Like, do you really think in your heart of hearts that Light Yagami is smarter than Bulma? Be serious. There are some other characters I can mention, but I think we already get the fact that this list was mostly awful and was likely created on some magic leaves, if you catch my drift. And before I move on to the next take, if you're enjoying the video so far and you're new, you might as well subscribe. For this next take, it's time for the obligatory TikTok live segment where we see what dumb topic was being debated for like an hour. And,
Bro, anytime I see these, I always just automatically skip. Like, I feel like a majority of them is just rage bait. A lot of them, it'll be like, oh, left versus right. And then on top, it'll say, oh, left always clears. And you'll have, like, Black Widow going up against, like, I don't even know, Ultron or some shit. And I'm like, bro, you just want me to get angry and say, you're wrong, come into your life and tell you're wrong just for views and exposure. Like, I'm not finna give you my time and energy. Like, I hate these shits. They're rooted in ignorance. They're rooted in simply trying to get a reaction.
Oh my gosh, Invincible versus Dragon Ball characters again? Yeah, I'm good, bro. I actually care about my brain cells. These TikTok lives need to do better, bro. Those versus debates just aren't cutting it anymore. I'm sorry. Next take.
Trained to master it at his Hero Academia.
All Might never had to train that way, by the way, folks. This is what he looked like before he got One For All. This is what he looked like before he had One For All, right? Right here. He was using it pretty much 100%, and I don't like Deku.
No, Caleb, no. It's really rough seeing Caleb City talking straight nonsense, but a bad take is a bad take. First off, All Might didn't even look like this when he got One For All. He looked completely normal. He just looks like this because All For One almost killed him. The injury was so bad that the guy ended up looking like Itachi with how much he was coughing up blood. Secondly, Gran Torino gave All Might PTSD while he was training, and that's not a joke. All Might gets chills when he thinks back to Gran Torino and the punishment he endured. He was going through all of this just to be able to control One For All. Now, All Might being able to use 100% does separate himself from Deku. However, we all know that One For All has numerous different quirks in it, while also increasing with strength over time. The One For All that Deku has is way stronger than All Might's. Deku's gotta control like 6 other quirks in the raw power that One For All gives. That's obviously going to be much harder than what All Might had to train for. Those first 2 or 3 seasons really did a number on Deku's PR for no reason. He gets so much hate for things that are out of his control within the plot. People out here yapping about things that are just straight up fabricated just to hate on this man. Also, why is it even a bad thing that Deku has to train more? What, do we want Deku to literally be handed his powers just to be Mega All Might for the rest of the series? Yeah, that's a...
Oh my gosh, this was such a great scene. This was such a great scene, bro. Oh man. But yes, like, even whenever I'm thinking about it now and like, even watching the anime as it flowed, you know, like, All Might was just like strong as fuck. He wasn't able to tap into the other users and use Black Whip, you know, use Fajin and all these different shits. He was just strong as shit. All Might was saying like, bro, the shit that Deku doing right now was shit that I wasn't even doing when I was, you know, around whatever I had, you know, All For One. I mean One For All. And it's like, bro, it came out his own mouth. Why are we debating this?
Good plot. Kid begs a hero enough and becomes the strongest hero ever. What? Deku low-key has a top 3 worst PR team in anime, but that's a topic for another day. Next take.
Alright, let me check this out. Kishimoto needs to start charging for copying his character. What? Blueprint and copies. I mean, you know, the fact that you put Yuta instead of Megumi on this list, I already know you're on some bullshit. And it looked like you just got niggas with black hair that have that same type of mellow demeanor as Sasuke. But damn, just looking at this panel, bro, Sasuke. But again, you know, it's like, ain't that something going around now with like anime, not anime, AI? And this is it's off topic, but it translates. They're like, oh, all the faces that AI are making, they're actual people because you can't make up a freaking human face. It's a real human face, whether it be, you know, constructed with parts from here, parts from there, but it's all the same thing, you know. Translating it to this, like, it's only natural as you progress. You have different creators that make a character. It's only natural that they have similar traits, you know, to something that came out beforehand. Like, y'all are acting as if niggas gotta reinvent the wheel every fucking time. No. If it's working, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. Like, we just supposed to have Sasuke as the only archetype of that, you know, type of person. And then going forward, nobody can ever do something like that ever again. Like, come on, bro. Be so for real.
Ooh, a Twitter take. It says that Kishimoto needs to start charging mangakas for copying his character $250K every time a new Sasuke clone appears. And it proceeds to show Sasuke and a range of other characters labeled as duplicates. You see, this is why Twitter never disappoints me, because you can always count on something stupid being...
We need a season 1 remake so bad it isn't even funny. What are you talking about?
said there. TikTok Live, take some notes. Let's take this post on one by one. How is Vegeta a duplicate of Sasuke if Vegeta came out before Sasuke? Like, that doesn't even take research, it's just common knowledge. Same thing applies to Killua. I don't know if y'all know this, but Hunter x Hunter came out in 1998. Yeah, I know, the series has been out for a while. It's just that the 2011 version made the series super popular in modern times. Also, what similarities do Killua and Sasuke have to make Killua a duplicate? Their arrival of the main character? Is that the only criteria it takes to be a Sasuke clone? Wouldn't Kurapika make more sense to be the quote-unquote duplicate? I feel like once anyone sees a deuteragonist with black hair, they're automatically a...
Exactly. But I feel like this comparison with JJK and Naruto is a lot more grounded in reality. Sasuke, Megumi. Naruto is Dory. No, bruh, I almost forgot her name. Sakura. And Kakashi and Gojo. Legit, dang near bar for bar, word for word. Like, this is a more grounded in reality duplicate take.
Sasuke clone, which makes no sense to me. I don't really see how Yuta can be a Sasuke clone when automatically a Sasuke quote-unquote duplicate. I feel like once anyone sees a deuteragonist with black hair, they're automatically a Sasuke clone, which makes no sense to me. I don't really see how Yuta can be a Sasuke clone when he doesn't even fit the deuteragonist role. He's a former main character, and their personalities aren't similar whatsoever. He's not...
Very, very true. Yeah, I would liken Yuta more so to Naruto compared to Naruto and Sasuke. He's more like Naruto than Sasuke is what I'm saying. But yeah, man. He had Yuta on the list and not even Megumi. Like, that's how you know he was smoking crack.
Even a rival to Yuji.
He wasn't even trying to be honest.
He's straight up stronger than Yuji at all points in the series. To further my...
Damn. Chill out, bro. Chill out with that shit. Chill out. I get it. He is. But Yuji / Sukuna is my favorite character of JJK, so you know, it kind of grinds my gears a little bit when there's a character that's stronger than my favorite character. But again, you know, it is what it is. Y'all got it.
Point, Yuta's gone for like half the series and comes back in one of the later arcs. Uryu isn't really a Sasuke clone either. He's fairly different even if he didn't get the most screen time pre-Thousand Year Blood War. Aki doesn't exactly fit the Sasuke mold either. Yuno is honestly the best fit here, and even then, Yuno has some differences. So what, that's like 0 out of 6 characters this post scored on? You know what? Fairly impressive on this post. Good job. If I'm being...
Nigga went 0 for 6.
Generous, I can give the post like 1 out of 6 characters if I give partial credit to Yuno and Aki or Uryu, something like that. By this post logic, every shonen MC is a Goku duplicate because they all get stronger throughout their series and yell a lot. Like, do you see how stupid that is? Alright, it's time for our lightning round where I look at some of the hot takes you guys posted under the last video. Gonna have to paraphrase this one just a bit. Caleb says, characters like Aizen and Madara aren't as smart as people think they are. If you were making plans and others weren't aware, you would seem smart because there's nothing antagonizing you. For example, Aizen lost the moment someone got wind of what he was doing, and then everything began to gradually crumble. The fake Karakura Town arc was Urahara's plan for him to get sealed. Also, place people like L, Light, Lelouch, and Ayano Koji, and they are literally washing him. I won't lie, you were kinda cooking with the first half of this take. Some of these characters do low-key get overrated with their intelligence, especially when the context of the scenario doesn't get mentioned much. However, to be fair, you have to have some decently high intelligence to not seem antagonizing. Well, that applies for Aizen at least. Madara is kinda just doing everything in secret. And although both of these guys did get outsmarted, there is a bit of context to who outsmarted them and how it happened. I don't really know how I feel about the second half of your take. I think there are some conversations to be had with someone like L or Lelouch maybe, but I don't think any of those characters you named would wash Aizen or Madara. The next take from Venom Gaming says, Arlong is a better arc antagonist than Kaido. Kaido was a great antagonist in terms of being an opponent for Luffy, but Arlong had an X factor with
Yeah, I haven't watched One Piece, so I don't know what he's talking about. It's gibberish to me.
Nami's backstory. And this take really isn't that egregious. It feels like a genuine hot take that isn't based off of lies or agenda. I can low-key agree with it to an extent, as Arlong felt like he represented something more emotional for the Straw Hats to overcome versus Kaido feeling like some sort of barrier needing to be crossed to legitimize the crew. But I do wonder, do you feel a similar way with CP9 because of what they were doing with Robin? Because I feel like we can have some similar conversations there as well. And finally, Star Panther heard someone say that if Erwin made it to Attack on Titan Season 4, he'd have supported the Rumbling. Now this take is actually kinda cheeks. We can't say for sure what Erwin would have done after he saw everything in the basement and in the outside world. Addressing this take is is basically asking myself, do I think Erwin would become a Jaegerist? And no, I can't really see that. When we look at everyone trying to stop the rumbling, it just feels like Erwin would have fit right into this group. If Erwin did side with Eren, I'd be extremely curious about all the turns his character would take, because I feel like at a certain point it starts to feel contrived and forced. Finally, I'm not sure why the Super Anime Podcast believes this take is that crazy. Honestly, one may argue that it's pure facts. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And
Wow. Erwin would be a Jaegerist, homie said. Hey man, you're entitled to your opinions because we will never know. But yeah, that'll be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for some more. Have a great Thanksgiving. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow.